Hello friends, this is Himanshu Jain from the Wall Street School. In the last 12 years, we have placed thousands of students in the field of portfolio management, investment banking, corporate finance, equity research, consulting, etc. Now, one of the most frequent queries asked by the students is the roles and the responsibilities in the portfolio management and portfolio management as a career. So in this video, we are going to address all of this. What is portfolio management? What is the role and the responsibility of a portfolio manager? What is the educational requirement for a portfolio manager? What are the typical sort of salaries which are expected by a portfolio manager? Which are the typical industries where the portfolio managers work? We're trying to address all of this and much more in this video. We have marked the sections in this video so that you can either watch the entire video or skip to the section which intrigues you the most. So let's get started.
In this video, I am going to talk about portfolio managers. This is perhaps one of the most requested video in last couple of months. So finally, we are presenting a video on portfolio managers. So in this video, I'll be talking about role of a portfolio manager, how to be a portfolio manager in India specifically, then educational qualifications that will support you in this journey of becoming a portfolio manager, the industries in which these portfolio managers work, and finally the most lucrative part of being a portfolio manager, the salaries. These are the 5 things that I'm going to discuss in detail in this video. But before we start, just to make this video bit interesting, I'm going to show you photographs of 4 portfolio managers, 2 industry veterans and 2 currently very famous portfolio managers. You have to guess the name of these portfolio managers and the funds that they are operating or that they were operating, right? So the first one, the first industry veteran is this person, this old man. Can you guess his name and the fund which he was operating? Don't Google it, don't Google it. Okay, he is Peter Lynch. He was operating Magellan Fund. Very famous, I think, perhaps the most famous, one of the most famous portfolio manager, fund manager in the world. The second industry veteran is this old man. He's the person, I think, to the best of my knowledge, is the one who has made this concept of mutual funds famous all around the world. He is none other than John Templeton. Templeton Growth Fund was started by him. Then this lady, she is very famous for her technology stock picks. She is currently operating, like these 2 persons have retired. This lady is still operating one of the very successful funds of recent times. Her name is Katie Woods, ARK Invest. And the 4th person is an Indian. Try to guess his name. You might have seen him on news channels or some YouTube videos. Try to guess his name and the fund which he is operating. Okay, he is Nilesh Surana, working for or with Mirai Assets. Okay, so just to start this video, this was a very quick quiz. Now let us start. Let's start with the basics. Let us understand the role of a portfolio manager. But before that, you need to understand there are 4 broad types of fund established. The first one and the second one are very common, mutual funds and ETF. I don't think I need to tell you what is mutual fund and what is ETF. Money market funds that buys and sell government securities or very short term loans. And then hedge funds, very popular, especially in western part of the world. Hedge funds, American hedge funds are very popular. Okay, these are the 4 kinds of funds that are established. Now understand this. Every fund established with certain amount of mandate, like with certain guidelines that they have to follow, right? They cannot invest this money anywhere they want. So what is done is, first of all, a fund established, this is the process. The fund established with certain guidelines, then its investment strategy, its mandate is decided. This fund be established, like example could be, some could be a gold ETF, that is the fund that is collected from investor will only be invested in gold. Someone could be investing in debt mutual funds, only the debt of highly rated corporates. Some other could be hedge funds. It could be arbitrage fund. It could be any other fund, right? So once a fund is established, its investment strategy is mandated, it is decided, or this can happen like this could be first step and this could be second. And once this is done, then a portfolio manager is assigned that who will be following this strategy and will be generating the highest returns possible. And once a portfolio manager is assigned, funds are collected from various investors in the name of portfolio managers. Few people might invest the money, or in the name of the organization that is establishing the fund can invest the money. And once money is collected, this portfolio manager deploys his strategy, and then finally he tries to generate some return for the persons who have invested in the fund. So as a portfolio manager, if you want to define very simply, you will be developing and implementing the investment strategies simply, right? You will decide how much securities, how much commodities to hold, in what quantities, which securities are to be bought and which securities are to be sold, very simply, right? You have to work on a particular strategy. Every fund have its own pre-decided criterias. Above that or below that, you cannot step in or step out, right? Because this is not your money, this is money collected from some other people and promising that will only use your money for XYZ purposes and for nothing else, right? Now this was the role of portfolio manager. Now let us understand how to become a portfolio manager. The steps are really easy if you see it pictorially, but the kind of efforts, the work you will have to put in, and the responsibility that you are taking is very high. Okay, so this is going to be a general pathway. What you have to do is you have to join any AMC, asset management company, as junior financial analyst. You'll have to work for 3 to 5 years as junior financial analyst. Then you will be promoted to become senior financial analyst. After 3 to 5 years, you will be working 2 to 5 years, and if you are doing really good, you will be promoted to become a portfolio manager. And this is not the end of journey in itself. If you are doing good as a portfolio manager consistently for 2-3 years, then you will be attracting more funds, and because of that, asset under management, your AUM will increase, and definitely your perks and all will also increase. And once you are managing a very high AUM, very large quantity of money, and you are well recognized in industry, this is something that I have observed. These portfolio managers working in these big companies tend to create their own AMCs. Like they try to collect funds in their own name because they are very famous in the industry now, and they start their own asset management companies. And this is how this industry works, right? As a junior financial analyst, your job will be to track the market, securities, economy, and then report to senior financial analyst. And this senior financial analyst will be researching on investment ideas and will typically give recommendations and reports to this portfolio manager. And this portfolio manager will finally have to take a call whether he wants to allocate some of the funds to a particular security or a particular idea, right? This is how you become a portfolio manager. It looks very easy, but understand this is 10 years of hard work to become a portfolio manager. 5 plus 5, right? And many of the people are not able to make it till here. They work as junior analyst, they might get promoted to senior analyst, and that's the end of the journey for them. They might start doing their own business then, that's a different thing. But this is the harsh reality. Everyone cannot become portfolio managers, right? Okay. Now let us talk about the educational qualification that you will be requiring in Indian context, right? So what I've done is, instead of me telling you directly what are the educational qualifications you should have to become a portfolio manager, I've picked profile of certain portfolio managers randomly, and then let's read about their educational qualification. So Prashant Jain, he's associated with HDFC Mutual Fund, very famous. He has done his post graduation from IIM Bangalore and engineering from IIT Kanpur, and he's also a CFA. So IIT, IIM and CFA. Like CFA, in essence, though we tell you can work in investment banking, you can work in risk management. In essence, in its core, CFA is nothing but portfolio management course. Entire level 3 is dedicated for portfolio management, and level 1 and level 2 is just to prepare you to do that. Okay, let's talk about some other person. Harish Krishnan, working with Kotak Blue Chip Direct Growth Fund. He have done his engineering from Government Engineering College, Trichur, and then post graduation from IIM Kozhikode, and then he is also a CFA. So CFA, I think this industry now wants the people who have done this CFA course. Okay. Now let's talk about Raj Mehta. He is working with Parag Parekh. So he's a chartered accountant. He has done his CFA, and you can read here. He began his career as intern with Parag Parekh Mutual Funds in 2012, and slowly, he is now part of fund management team. So like there are multiple ways you can go and climb up the ladder. So basically, to the best of my understanding, and it's not necessary that you need these like degrees with multiple stars attached before them. It's not necessary, but you have to like demonstrate that you have certain kind of capability and caliber. And I think educational qualification in India is considered, globally also is considered, one of the ways to demonstrate that you are very dedicated in a particular stream, right? So to the best of my understanding, you need to, like, you can do graduation from any stream, any college, that's fine. Then for your post graduation, you need to be an MBA from tier 1 college. As per the current industry standards, MBA from tier 1 college is necessary, and you have to do your CFA, and or you can be a chartered accountant. So graduation plus chartered accountant plus CFA, graduation plus MBA plus CFA, or like some other combination. I don't say these high educational qualifications are very necessary, but this is something that industry wants nowadays, right? You could be a very good engineer without even studying engineering, but you have to go and tell someone that I am a very good engineer. Then you need to give that certification of engineering, that degree of engineering, to tell anyone that you are actually a very good engineer. Otherwise he'll have to do trial and error with you, which you cannot afford in this industry, right? Okay, now let us talk about the industries in which these portfolio managers work. So typically any industry that have lots of funds to be managed. So mutual fund industry, it could be pension funds, it could be investment banks, it could be wealth management firms, it could be insurance companies, and it could be hedge funds. Most amount of portfolio managers currently are employed by mutual funds, insurance companies, and investment banks. Most amount of portfolio managers. Okay, now let's talk about the salary of portfolio managers, perhaps the part for which you are waiting the most, eagerly waiting. So first of all, let me tell you, it's not about the money they make, it's about the responsibilities they take. They are dealing with funds of crores of rupees, millions and billions of dollars. You cannot afford to make even 2-3% mistake. 2-3% of 1000 crore is a huge amount, understand this. So they get very heavily compensated for the responsibilities they take. So I've taken this screenshot from Money Control. So they have just highlighted the best earning portfolio managers, fund managers. Milind Barve, around 25 crores. Like a big chunk is coming in the form of ESOPs, that is funds or the shares of HDFC. Then Prashant Jain, I think we saw his profile on the last to last page here. Prashant Jain, he's working with HDFC, and he have managed to get salary of approximately 20-22 crores, and this is a bit old data, 3-4 years old data. Then Sandeep Sikka, Sunil Singhania, S Naren, Nimesh Shah, everyone is around 5 to 8 crores of salary, around 5 to 8 crores of salary, right? Okay, now this is much more detailed report. This is taken from Mint Research. What they have done is they've looked into 10 largest and the 10 smallest fund houses in India, and they have taken data of top 3 paid executive from top 3 large funds and top 3 small funds. And as per them, ICICI Prudential, HDFC and Reliance are the biggest funds in India, and their fund managers are getting somewhere in the range of 3-4 crores rupees per annum. And the smaller funds, Parag Parekh, Quantum, Peerless and Taurus, they are getting somewhere around 1 CR per annum. So it's 3 CR or 4 CR or 10 CR or 1 CR, it doesn't matter. Understand the responsibilities these people have taken on their shoulders is very large. So they are getting compensated accordingly. If you feel that, and if you know that you will be able to take certain kind of responsibilities like this ahead in the future of managing someone else's money, then you can also expect to be paid such amounts. But it really depends upon how hardworking you are, how lucky you are, how educated you are, how well you understand the markets, economics, current political situation, global markets, everything before you make any decision to invest someone else's money in the markets. So before closing this video, I would like to disclose about the SEBI requirements in India. Though I've not considered this in the index, but I want to tell you about this. There are certain requirements defined by SEBI. So let's talk about them. I'm going to click on this link. Okay. SEBI, you can read here, portfolio manager. The first and the most important thing that I would want to highlight here is that to be a portfolio manager, your net worth should be at least 2 crore. You'll have to make an application fees of 1 lakh rupees, that is non-refundable. And then every time you register, your registration fees will be 10 lakh rupees, right? So these are the things that I wanted to point out. Now that's it for this video. If in case you find this video useful, feel free to check us out at thewallstreetschool.com. And if in case you have any queries, feel free to reach us in the comment section below or at thewallstreetschool.com. Thank you.